like everybody's good, so I'm gonna just keep chugging along. Other considerations: avoid products which rely on emotional call to action more than a practical or functional call to action. Emotional call to action items are things such as shoes, clothing, jewelry, fashion. Remember, this is a business, not a hobby. I do manage one account that sell thousands of SKUs of baby products, baby clothes chiefly, and the conversion rate is just abysmal. It's really, really, really low. And in order to generate a moderate level of revenue on Amazon, they have to source hundreds of different SKUs, thousands of different SKUs, because of the fact that there might be the search traffic, but the click-through rate is so low because a lot of people tend to be window shopping, right? So if they're looking for a onesie, they may have a certain pattern in mind. Oh, there's too much patterns on, like for a boy onesie, it's going to be, typically it will be blue, right? So maybe they want something that's a lighter shade of blue, so they search for onesies that are light blue. But some light blues are different from other light blues, so they will generally whittle down their choice, and then maybe they don't like the vast majority of these patterns that are imposed and printed on top of this light blue fabric. So avoid it if you can, unless you have an extremely powerful brand or something extremely unique. What was the thing I found the other thing? The Comfy? I think it was on Shark Tank. It's like this oversized, fluffy hoodie that adults can go into and be good for just lounging on the couch. I think it's called Comfy or something like that. Anyway, okay. So moving on. Next is you want to get into Snuggie. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that might be it. Thanks, Sonny. Okay, so you want to try to go for products that are easy to use and easy to manufacture. Try as much as possible. Okay. Somebody said they have one of those Comfies. So you want to go for low tech, non-electrical, low, and a product or niche where there's low barrier to entry as far as compliance and testing is concerned for product testing. Or another way to think about it is to get into products, if you have the capability and bandwidth to do so, to get into products that are still easy to use. Now, at the end of the day, you want to have your products be as easy to use as possible, okay? But maybe something that is of higher tech, so it's more difficult for your competitors to emulate. If you have tens of thousands of dollars to do UL testing, then maybe something that's electrical, okay, and so on and so forth. Tougher product attributes. So some of these, so these are barriers to entry. And again, if you want to get into one of these niches and you have the capacity to do so, and you see an attractive opportunity that's either hazmat or is in the baby niche, okay, I can tell you, baby strollers definitely looks extremely appealing on Amazon. But if you were to research or have Tanisha help with the research on the compliance, it is just absolutely staggering. The amount of lawsuits and the amount of testing that baby strollers need to go through in order to be able to be sold in the US. Also, those, they're not cages, what are they called? Those baby things, the beds, the cribs. Those are also, I've looked into it on Amazon, very, very appealing. But again, there's been a huge, long history of safety issues with those. So electrical, battery, consumables, all fall into that. So electrical is probably not as bad as these other baby products. Same with batteries and same with consumables. Okay, again, not as bad. But Tanisha, you feel free to correct me if you're wrong, because you are the group SME on this topic. Okay. Other considerations. So try to go for a retail price of $80 to $20. This is loose. Thanks, Tanisha. I'm going to say nowadays, to be honest with you, the top end price range needs to go up, just because there's just it is just so difficult. It's getting more and more difficult to find any opportunities in this price range. Okay, so don't be limited by price. But not a data point in here, but if you do go for an $8 niche or a $20 niche, try when you're on the sourcing end, when you're partnering with Tanisha, you guys want to try to find a product where the COGS, the cost of goods, unit cost is as low as possible. That way you have a significant margin that if competitors start flooding into your niche, you have this huge margin to play with to dial in your price, but also continue to compete and buy yourself some time to be able to exit out of that niche if you choose to do so. Okay. Okay, so here, low price point taps into impulsive purchases. Okay. Less buyer's remorse and lower refund rate if the product is cheaper. And that's why this price range is recommended. The COGS, I really should say, instead of will be much lower, it really should say should be much lower, because a lot of times we're seeing these $8 products, and if you source it from China, it's $7 COGS, and you're left doing what I just did, scratch your head going, how is this possible? Okay. And one explanation of that is something I mentioned earlier, where in China, the Chinese government still provides a subsidy of 15 to 30% out the gate in terms of encouraging factories to sell on e-commerce platforms around the world. So that's how they're able to, ship something into the U.S. that has a $7 COGS and sell it for $8, even though Amazon is going to take $3 out of this. Okay. Restricted products. There's this URL. These URLs always keep changing. If you have a Seller Central account, just go ahead and type in the search bar. Just type in restricted products. That search bar is getting better and better over time. Or yeah, that's what I mentioned here in this last bullet point. Here's a list of restricted products. A couple of ones that I have ran into recently across, this is honestly speaking, across 2 or 3 of the accounts that we manage, is dietary supplements. So there is this one account that has, that we helped launch 8 supplements in, where the first 7 made it through without gating. So we were able to create listings. We didn't have to send in any GMP certificates. We were able to create listings. And there was a time 2-3 years ago in supplements, Amazon actually would charge a gating fee. I believe it was $3,000 in order to sell in dietary supplements. As of 2 weeks ago, dietary supplements got gated again. So with this account with 8 supplement products, these were all recently created. So 7 of them then slipped through and the 8th one didn't. So yeah, it's it's really tough to say what to do in that case. Is really just be prepared with ideas, and once the gates open, try to get into that niche as quickly as you can. But some other ones in here, explosives makes sense, right? Gambling and lottery, human parts and burial artifacts. If any of you guys have been thinking about selling your own kidney, please don't. It's not good for a couple of reasons. One of them is it's not allowed on Amazon. Let's see. Pesticides. It's really strange when I say stupid things like that. I'm the only one laughing. Sex and sensuality. So there are these restricted products. Now there's kind of a caveat to this where you could sell sex aids, but you're going to have to try to word it as if it's, speaking objectively, where it's a therapeutic device. And no pun intended. I'm not intending any puns, but where it's a device that you can use to massage the shoulders, massage, muscles, aches and pains, things of that nature. I will tell you straight off the bat, the sex niche is way too crowded, and there's black hat stuff going left and right all the time. So avoid that. But say, for example, if you're thinking about getting to CBD, I don't think CBD directly is allowed, but there's ways to do some workaround kind of marketing on Amazon to sell on Amazon.